Hi everyone, Steve Porter, candidate for Herndon Town Council. This morning I was doing some cleaning around the house and I came across one of my old fire helmets. The white one indicates that I was an officer. And it got me thinking, I've spent 18 years as a volunteer in the fire and rescue system, paramedic, president of one of the volunteer companies, other leadership roles within the overall system, as well as being an operational officer, including a chief officer, assistant chief, deputy chief. I have yet to actually be the chief of my department. And, when people look at people who are in that field, whether volunteer or career, they tend to think about things like trust, courage, service to the community, sacrifice, which are all great traits and ones that I certainly hope I exhibit and strive to exhibit. But a lot of times people will ask me a quite honest question of, well, great, I'm happy that you do this, but what does that have to do with being a town council member? Well, there's a lot of things, honestly, that I think do apply, but today I'd like to focus just on one of them, and that is the importance of planning. In the fire and rescue system, we plan everything. We have pre-plans for all sorts of different types of events. I have pages and pages of protocols on what to do for various medical scenarios. Our pre-plans have pre-plans, which have pre-plans. Planning, training are tantamount inside the fire and rescue system. And that's really important. That mindset of planning is critical to what we're looking at as a town as well. We have goals. We have a 2035 vision. We have a downtown redevelopment projects. We have the metro coming in. And all those things, to be done well, require that we take a hard look at them and carefully plan. Look at the options. In the fire and rescue system, it's not enough that we look at, okay, what is scenario A for a given thing? No, we look at scenario A, scenario B, C. Frankly, we look at as many possible variations of a scenario as we can to make sure we've come up with the best possible plans to cover the situations we're likely and unlikely to encounter. And that's a mindset that I will bring to the council as well, because that's critical. I think a number of candidates have mentioned it in one way or another, but we don't necessarily do a great job of a long-term planning. Our focus is often on the here and now. What's the priority for this year or this budget cycle? We need a longer-term planning focus as a council so that we determine what our needs are, we establish our priorities, and when we start working and funding as necessary those priorities well before the due date, well before that action date that we're hoping to achieve. Because if we wait for the last moment, it's gonna go badly. The other thing that's important to remember from the fire and rescue world as well is that we all have a very strong understanding that our plans are likely to not exactly work out right. That no matter how well we have planned, things will happen and we have to be adaptable. We have to be able to adjust on the fly and make decisions based on the situation on the ground, the situation in the now. So that's also a key part of my mindset. The thing is, even in those situations, I'm on a call and, I have a strategy, a pre-plan for it, but some wrench gets thrown in. Well, it's not a total loss because I had a plan that covers maybe 80% of that situation, right? So the planning is still critical, even if we do get thrown some curveballs, because we won't be starting from scratch. Or if we have enough good plans, sometimes we can pull from another one, I'm working a broken leg, let's say, and suddenly he has trouble breathing and something else. And so it's no longer a situation that falls neatly into my plans, but I can pull from elements of those different plans I already have to put together a good solution in the moment. And so that's one example of how my years of experience, not only as a paramedic, but a leader in that system, and my focus on planning, of being prepared, of being adaptable, of thinking through the situations can be of service to Herndon and our community on the town council. I hope you'll seriously take a look at my candidacy and give me the chance to earn your vote in November or in early voting. And as always, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please reach out to me. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Hello, I'm Stevan Porter, candidate for Herndon Town Council, and I approve this message. Paid for and authorized by Stevan Porter for Herndon Council.